everyone, I'm Roberta. We're back again at Page Hardware and Appliance Company, located on the beautiful and historic green in Guilford, Connecticut, with the second segment in our three-part series for Valentine's Day. Last week, we made our first course, a savory, silky pot de creme, and now we're going to work on our entree, a pan-seared rib veal chop, served with a demi-glace sauce with shallots and mushrooms. So let's get going. In this pan, I have a mixture of butter and olive oil. And the whole reason you want to put olive oil in the pan with your butter is so your butter doesn't burn. And you want your pan to be hot. And now I have these beautiful veal rib chops. You can certainly use a veal loin chop if you can't find a rib chop, but I want to tell you that they're simply easy to find, and if they're not, ask your butcher. You know, you can just go right to Stop and Shop and just tell your butcher what you're looking for, and if they don't have it, they'll order it for you. So, I'm going to take a little bit of salt, just a little bit of pepper, and season these up. And you don't need anything else to dress this veal chop up, because it's a very, very tender cut, and you really want the flavor of the veal to speak for itself. Great, and now I'm just going to lay these in the pan. Beautiful. And we're going to get a nice sear, so that we're going to leave those alone. We're not going to flip them for several minutes. Then we're going to turn them over on the other side for a few minutes, and then you finish them in the oven for the last few minutes of the cooking process, and that really seals in the juices. Now the sauce we're going to make today is a demi-glace sauce. You can certainly make your own veal stock, but I wanted to show you what I use because it is restaurant quality and it's really a time saver. This is a classic French demi-glace, and you can get this at specialty stores like on the shoreline. You can get it at Starfish Market, or you could get it at 40s. And they come in these great little packages. And this is enough really for 2 dinners because this is very concentrated flavor, and I'll show you later how we mix it with water before we actually put it in the pan. And then the sauce is going to be accompanied with these beautiful trumpet mushrooms. You can certainly use whatever type of mushroom you like. I think these trumpets are beautiful because they're really meaty and they cook up beautifully in this sauce. Okay, I am going to get ready to turn these veal chops over. I'm going to let them brown for a few more minutes, put them in the oven, and when I come back, we're going to get started on our sauce. So our veal chops are in the oven. I just seared them on both sides, and then I'm finishing them in the oven just so that it seals in all those juices. And now in the same pan that I seared off the veal chops, I've added my shallots, and I did not rinse the pan out because, again, I want to get all those flavors that the veal chop left behind in the pan. So my shallots are nice and translucent. You don't want to brown them, you just want to wilt them. And to that, I'm going to add the trumpet mushrooms. Now remember, you can use any mushroom you want. An oyster mushroom is nice, chanterelles would be terrific, but even if you just wanted to use a cremini or a portobello, all good for this dish. So now we're going to add the demi-glace. And all I did was dilute the concentrated demi-glace with some hot water. And now this is going to simmer and reduce. It's going to thicken very, very quickly, just a few minutes of simmering. And it's going to take up all those brown bits on the bottom of our pan that the veal left behind, and it's going to make a wonderfully rich and flavorful sauce. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And remember, that's all you need because you had seasoned the veal and you had started in the pan with a little bit of butter and a little bit of olive oil. So all of those flavors were in this pan already, and it's going to be a terrific sauce. So when we come back, I'm going to show you how to plate this delicious entree up. Be back in a second. So look at this delicious veal chop. And I want to share with you how I've plated it. I simply sauteed some wonderful Swiss chard. You can use any green. Swiss chard is just rapidly becoming one of my favorites. With some olive oil and garlic, just did a quick saute, laid it down on the plate, placed my veal chop on top, and then I roasted some fingerling potatoes with olive oil, salt, and pepper just to finish the plate off. And I want to give you another tip on preparing this meal. When you've taken your chops out of the oven, you want to let them rest for at least 10 minutes so all the juices can redistribute, and that ensures a juicy, flavorful, tender piece of meat. And then take those juices that accumulated at the bottom of the pan or plate and add them into your demi-glace sauce just to give it another layer of flavor. With this meal, I would serve a beautiful Pinot Noir, and you've got the perfect Valentine's Day dinner. I would say that this meal would make my husband very happy, and I hope it makes your sweetheart happy as well. Remember, next week, we're finishing our final segment on this wonderful Valentine's series. And I've gone deep into the archives on this one. For dessert, chocolate pate. It's a dessert I made for my husband about 17 years ago for the first time. And I've updated it, and I think you're gonna love it. Thank you so much for joining me this week. And remember, anytime you've got friends and family gathered, you've got an elegant occasion. I'll see you soon.